What's going on, everybody? It's Chase with Semi Pros Garage. We're going to try this again. As you guys saw from the last video, we ran into a lot of complications coming out here testing at our local test spot that we got, which is a pretty good road, other than you can obviously see a car coming down now, but we mostly test in the right lane anyway. The last time we were up here, we just, it was issue after issue. Had a problem with the rear end in the car, trying to get that squared, and then we had a problem with the windshield. I'm sure you guys remember that. So there's been some delays. The race got pushed back, so we're kind of out here last minute testing. We've got the race like in a couple days, so we're doing some last minute testing. Hopefully that way we can iron out exactly what this new setup's going to do, and get a good starting point. The last time that we were out here testing, we just weren't really hitting the marks that we wanted to with the setup. So it didn't go bad, it just wasn't what we wanted. So now today I'll actually be able to put some power down and see how the car responds. So what I'm going to do is we just got a suction cup for the car, so we'll film some footage where the GoPro is going to be attached to the car, so you guys can see the run from that angle. We'll also have some phone footage where we can see what the suspension and everything's doing on the car. So we'll go ahead and I'm going to fire the car up now, get it warm, do a little shakedown pass, which I always try to do, just nothing crazy. Make sure the car handles, the car does what it's supposed to do, the brakes feel good, tires feel good, and everything's square. So we'll get started now. Alright, so the first pass we just did, made a rookie mistake and did not remember to air down the tires. So that was basically just 2 or 3 burnouts. And then we finally got the GoPro to actually work. I guess it was just because of the heat, the way that we have the mount on the back of the car. I think the camera wouldn't turn on. So, normal stuff we're going through now, like dealing with the heat and trying to get the footage and everything uploaded. Or recorded, excuse me. So the pass we just made, I had to lift, which unfortunately it filmed it in high speed. I have no idea why. I'll film this pass though, and you guys will be able to see that. I'm going to mount the camera on the side of the car. The pass we just made was pretty much the same as the last pass that we did a couple weeks ago in the cold weather. So we're kind of moving in the right direction. So now that we know, how the car is going to act, I gave it just a little bit more RPM, and it's going to have a little bit more boost because it was a slow 60 foot. This car consistently does like 1.3s on no prep surfaces, and then obviously the harder I hit it and the more I tighten the suspension up, the better it does. But did a slow 60 foot, so now we're just going to kind of chip away like little by little at it, and hopefully just go faster and faster. So we're getting ready. The car, we got the fans and everything done, and generator was running. We just turned all that off, so I'm getting ready to get in the car, and we'll make another pass now, so you guys can see that. slowly getting better and better each pass. That one wasn't terrible, but it's just, slow, steady process. So launch was pretty good. The car is making more boost and more RPM than what I want it to, so I went in and changed some of the launch control settings, and that way hopefully it can tame down the RPM and the boost on the leave. And then it kind of smoked the tire a little bit, probably right around 200 foot, 300 foot. Smoked the tire a little bit, and still want a 5-second pass. There's just a number that I got in my head that I'm trying to hit, hopefully before I leave here today. So like I said, just we're chipping away, slow, steady process. I'm getting ready to make my 3rd run of the day, I think, and I'm picking up a 10th basically every test hit, so that's pretty good. So a little bit of suspension adjustments, like I said, change the launch control parameters, like I was using a kind of like a map versus RPM. It's a 3-step deal for my ECU, and it's making like 400 or 500 more RPM than what I want. So I went back to the basic launch control RPM settings, and I'm going to target like 4,200 RPM and I think 11 pounds, because I have a second gear leave, so you kind of got to hit it pretty decent to get it to stick the tire. So I'm not getting aggressive with boost yet, still like 25 pounds or under, just to try to get it to not act all crazy. So we're going to make the third or fourth test it. I think it's the 3rd one. And I'm going to hook the camera up and get ready to roll. Alright guys, so in conclusion, the car didn't do amazing, but it didn't do bad either. There's still a number that I'm chasing, but I feel like you kind of do that every time you take one of these cars out. In drag racing, you want to hit a specific number or mile an hour or whatever, and sometimes it's a PR. The car actually did come within a thousandth of a second within the best time on that surface. So I'm definitely not mad at it, but we went from a stock motor on, and there wasn't anything crazy with the transmission or anything, but I've spent a lot of money on the new motor, the new combo, the new converter, and put a lot more money in the transmission that I want to shatter those old numbers. So I'm definitely not mad at it though. I mean, the learning curve for me now in comparison to the old setup is, the old setup, even though the motor was more cubic inches. This is obviously like this motor came straight from Texas Speed. I had it built the way that I wanted it to be done, and it's got aftermarket cylinder heads and everything on it, so it flows more. Even though, I mean, it is at least I think it flows more. I mean, it's making, or at least close to, the larger cubic inch motor. So the learning curve for me is, I used to have to give the old combo, the motor and the converter and everything, I used to have to give it so much power, so much boost, and so much RPM on the leave to get it to work and actually, get a decent 60 and a decent 330 time. On this combo is the other way around. So you can see in some of the videos we filmed, and there are some runs that we didn't film with the GoPro, and there was like one or two of them that I don't think we filmed at all. But the car did good off the trailer, and then the second pass I made was pretty decent. I cut down a tenth, and then it had two passes back to back where it was slower, like significantly slower. It went in the sixes, and that's not a number. Like I see that, and I'm like, nope. So that's nowhere near where we wanted to be at, and I'm like trying to figure out what was going on. Well, I guess it was just enough when we got it off the trailer where it was still spinning, but you couldn't really tell so much in the data logs. So I gave it just a little bit more, and I kind of noticed that it was spinning out back, but not so much within the first 300 foot. So I was just kind of slowly giving it just a little bit more. Well, it was going slower. So I'm like, okay, obviously you got to go back. It was too much. So I went back the other direction, and I started taking power out. And I started doing less boost on the leave, less RPM, and taking more power out. And the more power I took out, the faster it was going. So the tune-up that's in it now is very, as far as like boost ramp and the launch RPM and boost and all that, is very conservative. I feel very confident that the current tune and everything, and then how this car currently sits right now, will go rounds wherever we take it. It's not aggressive at all. I'm using a second gear leave, and this car is almost doing a 1.360 foot in single digit boost numbers in second gear. So, and that's 3,800 RPM. It just kind of depends on the temperature, like ambient temperature, the temperature of the surface, stuff like that, where I can might have to go less than that, might have to go a little bit more, but it's very conservative right now, and it's doing very well. I didn't think that it would act the way that it's acting, taking a bunch of power out, so that was kind of a learning curve, because like I said before, I used to have to give, in comparison, it ran basically the exact same time with 6 less pounds of boost on the leaf, 500 less RPM on the leaf, and 5 pounds less throughout the entire run. So it was only like 24 or 25 pounds of boost in comparison to, I believe it was 30 or 31, if I'm remembering correctly on the old setup. So it's going just as fast, if not, and I believe that it's going to go faster. The more I'm going to take more out of it, and I bet you it gets even faster than that, because it's still the last run that we did that I have in the video, it still spins at about 300 foot, and you can actually hear it. If you listen close enough, you can hear that it's spinning. So me taking even more power out, the car's going to get faster, and it's just, like I said, it's just a big learning curve. I'm still, I'm really kind of new to this as a whole. I've only been doing this for a couple years, but brand new combo and everything, and trying to relearn all the stuff that I had learned from the stock motor, different converter and all that stuff. So, but anybody that drag races knows that you better be a quick learner, or you're just not going to make it. So, I got to take the car out testing some more. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that before the event, but I'm pretty confident that the tune-up that I have in it now is going to go right down, and it's going to be fast for that surface. So we'll see. I might go out first round, and then that will really suck. But I don't think that that's going to be the case. Kind of depends on what the temperature is, you know, how many people go before me, or, you know, if I'm first off the trailer or whatever. So, you know, still definitely a lot of room to grow. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it, guys. I mean, it's, like I said, it tied a personal best for that surface, and that surface still has a lot left in it, probably 2 to 3 tenths left in it. Don't really know if my combo will do it. It might do it. I don't know. So we'll see, you know, what the car does and how it acts at this big event we got coming up. And then we plan on filming, like I'll be filming stuff just like I did this video, might do some in-car footage, get a GoPro roll cage mount. So I might do some in-car footage, but I know I'll have a GoPro at some point mounted on the side of the car, and we'll get the footage of the suspension and everything, so that way, you know, we know obviously what the car, how it's, you know, what it's doing when it leaves, what the suspension's doing, what the tires doing, what the front end's doing, all that fun stuff. So you guys will get to see that coming up in the next couple days. Hopefully have a video up in another week or two. For those of you that follow the Facebook page, I will not have, at least I do not think I'll have, the shirts that we've ordered. Placed the order for like 58 or 60 shirts and hoodies, and I do not think that I'm going to have those with me for the event. So anybody that sees this on the YouTube channel or and I'll probably put an update on there anyway, but I don't think that we're going to make the deadline to actually have those shirts come in to be able to hand those out at the event. So, you know, we tried, but you guys stay tuned. We're going to have plenty of footage coming up for you guys. This will be our first race event of the season, so plenty more to come. You know, stay tuned, guys. Thank you. Like and subscribe.